morning, good afternoon, good evening. How is everybody? Welcome to another episode of Roll Around Find Out. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at a new, to me, solo system and hopefully do a little solo adventure tonight. Looking back at my last couple episodes, still very fortunate to have my two recent interviews, but beyond that, it's been a lot of system reviews, and so it's been a while since I've done one of the founding principles of this channel, which is to learn and explore solo RPGs. My first episode was on The Wretched, a solo journaling RPG, and it was kind of not the angle that I was going for. I wanted like the D&D experience. I have a book that I've not really looked into, but it's called For Against Darkness. And I think that's kind of the D&D experience that I'm going for, but I just haven't gotten around to it, we'll say. All right. Still, from my last episode, still on a kick for this tinny dungeons, and just happened to go back on here today, and there's a 15% off sale, which will bring it under $30. Still hemming and hawing on it. I think I could do something a little better, but man, this thing is just so freaking cute, and you do get a lot with it. Pre-made characters we've got here. There is a dungeon with it. Let's see, there's this little video here. I wish they went through everything. I don't know why they don't give it to you, but 2 dice, pencil, nice artwork, dungeons. So I don't know. I feel like I could do better if I didn't just say that, but it does seem pretty cool. So just always thinking about stuff. I've got this here, my alpha edition. I kind of want to go, I'm positive I want to go with a D66 game, which think like a D100 percentile based roll under, but it would be D66 roll under. And just kind of, I'll go over this here real quick. It's roll under, and for stat creation, stats, we've got strength, dexterity, perception, social, and magic. Now, I was trying to get real cute, and these are still subject to change, but I was trying to get cute with the names, like strength is muscles, and then I wanted dexterity to be like finesse. And then I was like, why complicate it? Keep it simple. Hey, you're doing something that requires muscles or strength, make a strength check. Something that requires small movements for you to be dexterous, dexterity. And then in D&D, I believe it falls under the wisdom stat, but perception is, make me a perception roll. The specific skill itself is so widely used. Let's just make that the core stat. Then I think it's important to have social, which is kind of like charisma, and then a specific stat for magic. Big thing I jump to right away is, okay, if I'm melee combat, that should be strength. Ranged is dexterity. How do we do damage? Well, if you can read it here, I can zoom in, I guess, but I'm also going to tell you. Two-handed weapons, you use the highest dice when you roll. So you would roll, let's say, you've got big, heavy battle axe, 2 hands. Okay, roll under your strength. And because it's two-handed, use the highest dice. And if you have a sword and a shield, and then you use your strength to roll under. and then you use the lowest dice for your damage. And there's a chance that, you roll 2 6s, 2 5s, and it's likely that a heavier weapon is going to do the same amount of damage as a smaller weapon. But I struggle with D&D combat and the swinginess of it, but I understand that you can flavor it and say combat is wild. And so in that vein of, well, how can my smaller weapon deal more damage than a bigger weapon? Hey, combat is chaotic, it's crazy, and maybe you get a really nice hit with your tiny dagger right in the lung, So there's that. How do I want to create stats? I'm at roll 2d6 and multiply them together. But, I mean, that would feel really bad if you rolled 2 1s or really a 1 in anything. So, I'm also kind of leaning towards roll 2 dice. 1 is the 10s, 1 is the 1s. But that would mean that if you rolled 2 6s, you would have a 66, and that's like the highest roll. That's not, so it's all a work in progress here. But one thing that I thought was pretty cool is I used ChatGPT, and I said, hey, are you familiar with lasers and feelings? I said, yep. I said, okay, make me an adventure generator using the template of lasers and feelings, and came up with D6 tables. Love it. We've got determine the threat, define the goal, choose the location, introduce a twist. Perfect. And then I thought I had punched something else in there, but I guess not. So, work in progress, always working on something, whether it actually moves forward. Just, I enjoy the process, we'll say. As you know. Okay, so let's go to the meat and potatoes. Let's get into it. I came across this. I'm not logged in here, but by Lumen, who I think there's a roleplay system called Lumen. And how many things does he have? He got quite a bit. 1-page role-playing game. Like, I gotta check out more of this Lumen stuff. Oh, okay, not too much. But if I search Lumen RPG, yeah, it's a whole system here. I was confused with this. And I know I talked about Lumen in my hackable systems. So I'm confused here. We've got Quickquest, solo role-playing made easy, and then solo roleplay made simple. Same guy, 2 separate products. This one is 10 pages, the Quickquest, and this one is 20 pages. So let me get logged in here. One I have downloaded, the other one I do not. Oh, I hate that it doesn't take me back to... Okay, refresh. Get it free. Check out. I'm already logged in. Check out. Confirm order. Let's go to my library. Okay, so I downloaded Quickquest 2 days ago. Let's download it. And then it's going to pop up here. 5 pages. It spreads. Okay, then let's do this one in spreads also. That's a lot of words. Okay, let's go back to why I even downloaded this in the first place. We've got these 3 bullet points. Are you looking to get started with solo role-playing but aren't sure where to begin? Even though I've done a handful of it, I'm still not comfortable with it, so I would say yes, I'm looking to get started. I'm still a beginner. Are you feeling overwhelmed by the complicated rules and countless systems? I'm not feeling overwhelmed. It's like learning a language without somebody speaking it to me. Do you spend a lot of time prepping but struggle to actually start playing? Oh, I guess I prep a lot. Okay, you should try this game if you're new to solo role playing and it feels complex and overwhelming. I will say it feels complex. You get bogged down in world building and character creation. You prep a lot but struggle to dive in and actually start role playing. I enjoy world building. You struggle with paradox of choice and analysis paralysis. You read many rule sets and supplements but can't choose one. You're looking for a simple game to help you get started. Sort of. The paradox of choice is like I still struggle with solo games in that if I read, let's say I were like, I know you can play any system and just like solo it. And I guess if you read an adventure for the first time, then it's all new to you. But let's pick like Curse of Strahd, let's say. As I'm reading it, you gotta do double duty of be the DM and like be creative and not know what the DM knows. So I've talked about this before. Maybe solo role-playing games just aren't for me. But I'm giving it a shot. You like games focused on storytelling, roleplay, and making up creative ideas rather than crunchy mechanics. Yes and no, I like some crunch. You're busy and want a simple way to play short 5-10 minute games. And that could be another thing I'm struggling with. Maybe solo role-playing games are made shorter. And I just have the mindset of, I have to play a role-playing game for weeks, months. But maybe it's just a one-shot, just a one-time thing. You're looking for a creative tool that will help you discover and develop world building and character ideas as you play. That was what was most intriguing to me as I play. Okay, then that was the first one. That's the shorter one. Now when I go here, it's almost the same. New to roleplay, you get bogged down, you struggle with paradox of choice. So I don't really know the difference between these two. But alright, let's look at them. Let's go with this one, solo roleplay made simple. This first page here, or it spreads, so I guess 2 pages. Pretty much the same thing that I just read. However, it does say here, in 7 steps, you will complete your first mini adventure. Start playing in minutes. Finish the game quickly and see how simple and straightforward solo roleplay can be. Okay, we'll find out. Jumping to this one. It seems to be the exact same. So what are we really missing here? We've got location, character, objective, obstacle, action, resolution, cliffhanger. Those are the 7 steps. Longer adventures, gameplay tips and advice. What is... Oh, it's laid out almost exactly the same. Obstacle, resolution, cliffhanger, fantasy gameplay example, sci-fi gameplay example, mission-focused adventures, mission gameplay example. Okay, so I guess you get the examples here. I'm gonna go with the... I guess it's just more... I'm so confused right now. I don't understand the difference between these. Even though it's double the pages. Okay. Let's roll with quick start because I... zoomed in too fast. I like this art a lot. Okay. We've read about the about. Okay, how to play. As you play, you'll mentally switch between the two modes, narrator and hero. Got it. As a narrator, you will describe the world around the hero, narrate the consequences of their actions, introduce challenges, and play the roles of the non-player characters. Okay, you'll be the DM, GM. Got it. As the hero, you will play the role of the main character of the story, describe their actions, pursue their goals, creatively overcome obstacles on their path. Okay, you'll be the player. Got it. You can play entirely in your imagination, but it's best to leave a record of your adventure. Journaling. Describe your story using regular prose, much like a writer would. Excuse me. Bullet points, concise log summarizing the key events of your adventures. Audio, improvise the story out loud. Record it using an audio recording app. Well, that's what I'm doing right meow. Video, a series of drawings, comics, screenplay, any format you can imagine. Got it. Take a drink here. Okay. Create your character, singular. Come up with the main hero of your story. Name, personality, occupation, and appearance. Examples here. Danny, relentlessly optimistic kobold inventor. Got it? Okay. Need to bore reading all that. So let's go to... Let's do it right at the bottom of my D66. Let's jump down. And let me try this if it's not too complicated for me. We'll do side by side. And zoom. Okay. So I need to come up with a character. Let's come up with... looking around. Bentley. Bentley is... great. Stumped already. Let's see. Optimistic, charming and daring, naive, devious, skeleton wizard. Ooh, I kind of... Let's go crazy and let's play a evilish character. Let's go with... Okay. Let's go with... I like everything they have there. Salazar, devious, skeleton, wizard. Okay, all right. Salazar, comma. All right. Make a special ability, magic power, sci-fi gadget, special item, skill, ally. Examples. All right. Wand of telekinesis, hologram generator, grappling hook, hoverboard, invisibility potion, fire bow, pet familiar, disguise kit, bag of gold, super strength, sharpshooting, forgery, political connections. I'm going to go with political connections because I like social characters. Gameplay overview. Your goal is to improvise a micro adventure, a single self-contained 10-minute scene. You do that by following these steps. Location. Where does the scene take place? Objective. What does the hero want? What are they actively trying to accomplish in this scene? Action. How does the hero attempt to overcome the obstacle to achieve their objective? Oh, I've read these out of order. Character, what do you meet in? Who do you meet in this scene? 4. Obstacle, what makes it difficult to get what they want? What challenges or obstacles stand in their way? Resolution, what are the consequences of their actions? Alright, once you understand how this gameplay works, you can repeat it to create a series of scenes that add up to longer adventures and campaigns. Okay, alright. Define the location. Alright, do I have tables to roll on? Yes, I do. Okay. So let's for a first time through, let's roll on some tables. I'm gonna get my phone dice here. Roll dice. Got it? Okay. So location. I have a 1. An abandoned tower. Okay. Define the location where the scene takes place. All right, make my note. We are in an abandoned tower. Describe the location in a single sentence. Okay. You're going to judge my spelling, and that's 100% okay. This tower is the former home of the last kingdom's regime. I know it says one sentence, but I'm going to go more. It was an outpost for the southernmost guard. It was overrun nearly a century ago and has been left to decay. All right. Character. Make a character whom you meet in this location. Whom I meet. Okay. An adjective plus an occupation. Rowdy pirate, jolly goblin, mad scientist, runaway princess, folksy robot, sad orc, spider queen. All right, I can roll on character also, so I will do that. 11. I have a reckless warrior. And whom you meet. Okay, they are reckless, and occupation is they are a warrior. This character may be a helpful ally, an antagonist, or someone in need of help. Describe meeting this character in one sentence, and say the first line of dialogue between you and them. The purpose of the dialogue line is to add some context to the scene. Establish the reason the characters are here, what they are doing, or the relationship between them, and to make you dive into role-playing as early as possible. Dang, I am liking this a lot. Alright. Describe meeting this character. Alright. And say the first line of dialogue between you and them. The purpose of the dialogue. Okay. There's a reckless warrior here at the abandoned tower. Since I'm a devious skeleton wizard, I will say I have come to claim this tower as my base. Okay, let me do it in dialogue form. Salazar. I have come to claim this tower as my base. Leave now or beware my power. Warrior. He's reckless. So we will say this is my home. This is already my home. Turn around, or maybe I'm diving too much into this right now. Turn around or be split in two. All right. Objective. Come up with an objective your hero will actively pursue during this scene. A goal they want to achieve or a problem they need to solve. Think small. It should be a task you can succeed or fail at by the end of the scene, not a long-term goal that requires complex planning. Well, I want the tower. So that seems like doable in this scene. It can be something the hero wants from the other character, something the other character prevents them from getting, or something the other character needs help with. Got it. When in doubt, use a MacGuffin, an object, person, creature, or information the hero wants to obtain that is kept at this location and guarded by the other character. So I am here because it's like the beginning base for my evil wizard operations. Okay, so objective. Salazar wants this tower as his base of wizarding operations. Introduce the object. The hero will pursue during this scene using dialogue or description. Okay. So, Salazar responds. Oops. Your blade is no match for my... Let's see. Yeah. Your blade is no match for my... I want to say magic. Your blade is no match for my mind. This is your final warning. Do I want to just say, like, hey, I'm taking this for my base of operations? I don't think I need to tell this guy. Your blade is no match for my mind. This is your final warning. What do we got? Obstacle. Introduce an obstacle that stands in the way of the hero getting what they want. A challenge they need to overcome. So, action. Defeat somebody. You got it. That's what's happening. Describe how the hero encounters the obstacle. Before the Spider Queen can react, Torg dashes past her, bursting through a side door into a web-covered hallway. He encounters giant spiders skittering about, blocking his path. Well, the obstacle is the warrior, and he's already been introduced to it. So, before the action, is there anything else? Let's say warrior. suddenly, not suddenly, this is your final warning. He will say, I'm never one who enjoys being told what to do. Warrior then charges at Salazar in front of the tower. Describe how the hero will attempt to overcome the obstacle to achieve their objective. This is the core of the scene, where you can use creative problem solving to improvise fun action or roleplay moments. Describe what the hero says and does to get what they want. All right, I will come back to step 5, but I want to look at resolution. Decide whether the hero succeeds. You can just make a choice or determine it by rolling the dice. Set the difficulty number you need to beat based on how likely you think the character is to succeed. 5 easy, 10 medium, 15 hard, and roll the dice. Describe. Okay, all right. So that's how the resolution is. So let's describe the action. All right. Warrior charges at Salazar in front of the tower. Salazar casts his Iron Shield spell, ready to deflect Warrior's attack. All right, and then we will roll. Okay. We will say that 12 is the number to beat. And I rolled a 6. Okay. Salazar casts his Iron Shield spell, ready to deflect the ready to deflect the warrior's attack. The warrior is too strong with his movement and strike that Salazar is knocked to the ground. In a desperate attempt to recover, Salazar casts his cuff spell to chain the warrior's ankles together. Let's go slightly lower. Let's go to an 11. Meets it, beats it. Ooh, okay. That is a 3. So still dazed from the blow, Salazar is unable to stop a second attack. The warrior lifts his blade, his axe, up to strike and sever Salazar at the neck. All right. We will put this at a 9. Let's see. He's knocked down. He avoided the ankle chain, the cuff spell. So Salazar's not in good shape. Let's go with a 10. 10 or higher. He succeeds, and it's a 9. His blow hits Salazar's robe. Keeping him pinned to the ground. Salazar. I don't know how entertaining this is to listen to, but I'm enjoying the process here. As far as like story making, I really like this. Salazar is pinned down, so he is just, things are not looking good for him. Salazar attempts to cast his Radiance spell, blinding the warrior. I feel like this is an easy spell for him. There's no aiming. He just needs to like close his eyes and cast it. So we'll put it at 5. 7. Attempts to cast his radiant spell, blinding the warrior, to which he does, which causes the warrior to take a step back, leaving his axe in the ground. As a skeleton wizard, Salazar is probably not the strongest, so Salazar attempts to remove the axe from the ground. Actually, let's say, I don't want to give him like every spell in the book, so Salazar attempts to cast Shatter on the axe. And let's put that at, he's got to act quick. Let's go 11. 18. Salazar attempts to cast Shatter on the axe, which he does, and it shatters, and it breaks into 100 pieces. Filled with rage, the warrior charges Salazar. Am I going in too much depth for this? Let's see. Action. Describe what the hero says and does to get what they want. Need to find another way. He spots the chandelier with a powerful... He severs the chain and the chandelier crashes down. Well, I guess I have to keep going because what I'm rolling, I'm not being successful at. So... Filled with rage, the warrior charges Salazar and attempts to... I see the flow that I have here with starting a sentence usually with either Salazar or the warrior and saying attempts to. I should roll and then describe what happens. So he's going to... kick kick Salazar's head clean off. And because he's reckless and he's enraged, let's make it medium 10, which is a 12. Okay, so filled with rage, the warrior charges Salazar and punts his head clean off. Clean off. Ending the battle. The struggle. If they fail, they face a setback or a complication that escalates the conflict, making their problem worse, making their goal more difficult to achieve. You could make another attempt by trying a different strategy, or decide that the scene ends in the hero's failure. Go to the next step. So I think I did that. He tried casting a bunch of spells and it didn't work. Finally, the warrior won out. End the scene on a cliffhanger that leads the hero into the next scene. The character sets out on a journey to a new location, has to deal with the consequences of failure, or gets what they want, which creates a new problem, challenge, or desire. Okay, so then I guess that would be the end of Salazar because he's dead. So let's say filled with rage, the warrior charges Salazar and I hate to say attempts and kicks him with the fury. Filled with rage, the warrior charges Salazar and kicks him with the fury and strength to nearly remove his head. To remove his head, filled with rage, the warrior charges Salazar and kicks him with the fury and strength to nearly remove his head. Salazar. All right, end the scene on a cliffhanger that leads the hero into the next scene. Okay, Salazar is struck so hard he goes unconscious. All right, that sounds like a cliffhanger. All right, end of stage 1 or scene 1. All right, got my character. He shows up at this tower. He wants to take it over. There's a reckless warrior there, and he attempts to use his magic, but the reckless warrior is just too powerful and takes him out. Okay. Let's see. Longer adventures. We'll come back to the scene, or we'll make a second scene, but let's just see what happens after one is done. Okay, longer adventures. To play adventures that are longer than a single scene, you can simply repeat the steps described above to create a series of scenes that add up to a story. But you can also take on missions, overarching objectives that take multiple scenes to complete. All right. What does that look like? Well, an adventure hook. Begin with an adventure hook, a scene that introduces the mission the hero will strive to achieve by the end of the story and draws them into action. Define the location where the adventure begins and encounter a non-player character who has a problem you need to go on a mission to solve. When in doubt, your mission is to go to another location and obtain a MacGuffin guarded by the antagonist. Okay. Challenges. Formulate a 3 to 5 step plan for completing your mission. Play one scene for each step. Location is the place you must go to in order to take the step. Objective for each scene. For each scene is to complete the next step of the plan. Obstacle is a challenge that makes taking the next step difficult. To come up with a plan and obstacles for your first adventure, choose 3 steps from this list. Obtain the things you need to succeed at your quest. Journey to the location where the MacGuffin is kept. Deal with an unexpected setback or complication during the mission. I like that there are examples for all of these. Enter the location where MacGuffin is kept and find where it is. Overcome the Guardian to obtain the MacGuffin. Escape, return home to deliver the MacGuffin. All right, I'm a little confused here on these challenges. Formulate a 3 to 5 step plan for completing your mission. Okay, it says 3 to 5, but then here it says choose 3. I wish if it's what I think it is, I think it should also say 3 to 5 steps from the list. Play one scene for each step. So we've got location, objective, and obstacle. Okay, this definitely confuses me. For their description of the game saying how simple it is, I'm confused by this. To come up with a plan and obstacles for your first adventure, choose 3 steps from this list. To come up with a plan and obstacles. Okay, so I know what the obstacles are. The plan must be the objective, and a location is just a generic location. Okay. To come up with a plan and obstacle for your first adventure, choose 3 steps from this list. So let's see if I did the last 3. Enter the location where the MacGuffin is kept and find where it is. So then you just like hot start right at the location. Oh, I wonder if you can do these in any order. Okay, enter the location and find where it is. But then let's go to obtain the things you need to succeed at your quest. So you have to get a map to the MacGuffin when you enter in there. And then deal with an unexpected setback or complication during the mission. Okay. The last one here, escape, return home to deliver the MacGuffin. So that can't be first. Escape the collapsing layer, escape from the pursuit in a chase scene, protect the MacGuffin from danger. I feel like these challenges, I'm very confused about these challenges. I guess you can choose 3 steps, but then you probably want to choose them in order. But even that doesn't make sense because if we enter the location, well, regardless, if we don't pick the last one, then we're not going to escape. But let me read the next part because I know that I am a terrible reader And I make all these assumptions before reading the whole thing. So here we go. I think I am an idiot. Climax. Overcoming the last challenge will be the story's climax. A scene where the final, most difficult challenge determines whether you succeed at your mission. Okay. Here's something that I've critiqued myself on. Okay, we use the term mission. We have steps. We have a plan. We have steps. And then we have a challenge. So your climax could be overcoming the last challenge will be the story's climax. A scene where the final, most difficult challenge determines whether you succeed at your mission. So what if obtaining the things you need to succeed at... Okay. This escape one is really boggling my mind here. How can you escape first? Okay, let's read the first ones and last ones. Obtain the things you need to succeed at your quest. Transportation, map, aid, weapon that can slay the antagonist, information about the location of the MacGuffin or the antagonist's weakness, witness who holds a clue to MacGuffin's disappearance. All right. That's the first one. Last one is escape, return home to deliver the McMuffin. Escape the collapsing lair. Escape from the pursuit in a chase scene. Protect the MacGuffin. So let's just do this. You escape. Okay. I don't even know how to word this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. We start and we are leaving, we are escaping to deliver the MacGuffin. We have the MacGuffin, we are leaving. Okay? That is step 1. Step 2, obtain the things you need to succeed at your quest. Transportation. So I have left, but I now need transportation to get back home. I have escaped, but I need a weapon that can slay the antagonist. So just because I've escaped doesn't necessarily mean I've killed the antagonist. Okay, it's coming together. So I have a challenge. I've got the MacGuffin. I'm leaving. I then find transportation. I'm leaving on my transportation to get home. And then let's pick number 2. Journey to the location where MacGuffin is kept. Well, I go back there, survive the journey, deal with environmental obstacles, dangerous creatures, or enemy patrols. Well, if I've already escaped, I've got transportation home, why would I go back to where the MacGuffin is kept? Okay. So, and if the climax is the last one that says a scene where the final, most difficult challenge determines whether you succeed on your mission. All right. I can't review things on DriveThruRPG, but I can comment, and I'm gonna leave a comment saying I need clarification on the challenges and do they need to be completed in order or etc.? Okay. Gameplay tips and advice. Don't overthink. Well, that's what I do. Don't treat this game as a serious project like writing a novel. Approach it as a stream of consciousness improv scene. Okay, but I can't leave with the MacGuffin to then go travel to the MacGuffin. Don't plan, play to find out what happens. Don't edit, don't pause, don't try to write well. Don't worry about the plot holes or the quality of your ideas. Use tropes and cliches liberally. Steal ideas from the stories you like. Don't take it seriously. Try really stupid and absurd ideas. Remember, you don't have to commit to any of the ideas longer than a 10-minute scene. Okay? In medias res, start the scene in the middle of action when something interesting has just happened or is just about to happen. Characters, every new scene, you have an option to switch your protagonist. Instead of continuing as the hero you started out with, you can play as one of the characters they've met. Yeah, I would kind of want to play as the warrior, actually. It's a great way to experiment with role playing as different characters, and it helps you avoid overthinking the perfectionism at the character creation step. You can start with any random character, knowing you can switch anytime if you get bored of them or when you discover a better idea. Okay, I like that a lot. Again, we're telling a story, and it doesn't have to be from one person's perspective. I'm just like rationalizing it in my head. World building. To use this game as a world building tool, describe the locations you visit and your journey between them. Create and explore the world as you play without planning it in advance. Kind of like Cartograph, that is more planned out, but here you just restating what they've got here, you just freeform it versus rolling dice to say this is a town, this is a settlement. But I kind of want to do another Cartograph. I had a lot of fun with that, and there's I backed the Kickstarter for I think it's called the Atlas edition, kind of a 1.5 edition, I think. To develop your world and explore character and location ideas, you can play a series of unrelated, self-contained scenes that take place in the same world. Come up with a location and 2 characters for each scene and play one of them as your hero. So, kind of like I've got this abandoned tower, and I already came up with the background on it, that it was a former outpost long since abandoned. Okay. Character progression. To have a sense of progression, your character can gain a new special ability every time they achieve their goal. Oh yeah, what was my special ability? Political connections. Okay, I didn't have a chance to use that. We jumped right into combat. It's all right. For example, obtain a valuable item, learn a magic spell, make an ally, anything that makes them stronger, anything useful in their future adventures. Okay. I like that for my tinny dungeon character progression. Hey, you want to progress? Like, roll. It's just how my brain works. Okay, so it's D66 roll under, and I think for level progression, I don't know what game I learned this from, but if you roll over your stat, which becomes increasingly harder, then you can improve your stat by, let's say, 5. And then, well, 5 would be a lot in a D66, so I'll have to tweak that. But you can, let's say, increase one stat. However, they can also gain an item, learn a magic spell, gain an ally, a follower, something like that. I like that. Okay, well, that will be put a little pin in that for character progression. Tools and game systems. Once you're comfortable with the basic mechanics, you can use the following tools to add more depth and mechanics to your gameplay. A Mirage, a novice-friendly, one-page system that adds enough mechanics to this gameplay to make it a full-fledged TTRPG while still keeping it simple and rules light. Yeah, I don't understand the word Mirage, but I could see how if you do this enough. Oh wait, hang on. Once you're comfortable, you can use the following tools. Oh, I can click on this. Oh, what? Mirage is a one-page storytelling-focused role-playing game for people who enjoy the creative aspects of role-playing games and want to improvise stories without the intricate rules getting in their way. What? Oh my god. That's awesome. Okay, check that out. Yep, thanks. Let's go back. Strangeville Files, a light-hearted storytelling focused game where you'll improvise supernatural mysteries. Gravity Falls, Scooby-Doo. Okay, well, let's click on that just to see what it looks like. Okay, yep, that's amazing. Let's see. Can it be fantasy-based? Gravity Falls, I don't know what that is. Scooby-Doo, Inside Job, X-Files, Men in Black. Try it out to play mysteries in this framework. Cool. Worlds Weird and Wonderful is a world-building game about exploring the multiverse and creating weird ideas and worlds that defy our expectations. The style of Rick and Morty and Gravity Falls. Use it as a starting point for your adventures. Well, let's click this. Oh, well, this artwork is used in the other one. Okay. Wow. And Story Deck is a collection of prompts you can use to inspire location, characters, and objectives for your stories. Setting: ruined colony inhabited by engineers, ruthless ape who wants to prove superiority. Objective: go on a mission to sabotage an event. Okay. Click on a card to draw a new one. Oh my god, this is like... I could use this for my... Well, it's a little too vague for me to use for my club, my D&D club. Stop someone who wants to infiltrate a place. Go on a mission to intimidate a person. Yep. Okay, maybe a little too simple. Rogue tribal leader who wants to avenge somebody. Setting, character, and objective. Okay, well, that's something to look at. But this Mirage, we're going to be checking this out for sure. Make a character, create your abilities, play the game. Let's just... What dice do you use? Tell me. I need to know. Tell me now. Roll the dice. How to play. Come and play with us. Okay. One player becomes the narrator. The other players were the heroes. To add some unpredictability to the game and resolve the consequences of your actions, you will roll the dice. What dice? D6? D4? D20? Roll the dice. Advantage and disadvantage. If you have advantage, roll multiple dice, up to 4, and take the best results. Okay, I guess it doesn't matter. We're gonna check that out more later. Okay, all right. I've been saying this the last couple episodes. No, I did not set a timer. So I would like this to be around an hour, but I don't know. So, okay, let's do one more scene and then we'll call it good. This should go by faster. Okay, so let's say scene 2. Define the location. I will roll on the table again. Get up my phone dice, roll it, and we are at a 1. That's unbelievable. So we're still at the abandoned tower, unless we're at a different abandoned tower. That's funny. We've already defined it. We've described the location. Make a character whom you meet. Okay, well, sure. So the warrior has an ally. 14, a corrupted priest. Still at the watchtower, we have a corrupted priest. Okay. Describe meeting this character. In one sentence. I am reading this so poorly because it's in bold and then it goes out of bold and I think it's a new sentence, but it's not. Okay. This character may be helpful, ally, an antagonist, or someone in need of help. So, kind of thinking he could be trapped here as well, but I'm going to say he's helping the warrior, the reckless warrior. He'll be his mentor figure. Describe meeting this character in one sentence and say the first line of dialogue between you and them. Okay, so Salazar wakes up from his unconsciousness and sees this fat, old, dirty man wearing what appears to be a cultist's robe. Spelling. Okay. And let's see, look at some Salazar's personality here. Salazar says, I know I was knocked out, but thanks for smelling so bad. It's what I needed to wake up. The unnamed priest will reply with, such sour words for a man chained and imprisoned. Don't you think? All right, those are the first words. Objective. Come up with an objective your hero will actively pursue during the scene, a goal they want to achieve, or a problem they need to resolve. Think small. Well, it would be to get out of their chains and escape. It could be something the hero wants. So I will write, introduce the objective the hero will pursue during the scene using dialogue or description. Okay. Salazar will say it should be apparent that if you do not let me go, bad things will happen to you and your friend. Now, the warrior is not here. All right. He has said that he wants to be let go. That is the objective. Introduce the obstacle that stands in the way. So he's cuffed, and the priest is here. Priest. I don't think you'll be going anywhere. In fact, I'll say we already have plans for you. Describe how the hero encounters the obstacle. You see, I'll continue the story. The priest is talking. You see, well, we're gonna name the warrior, the reckless warrior. We're gonna say it's MILF. Well, yeah, just MILF. You see, I wanted to say Milfred, but that doesn't seem warrior-esque enough. Let's go with Milfridius. Milfridius. Remember, don't overthink it. That's what they said. So that's what randomly was in my head. And I are rather hungry. And even though you don't have any meat on you, let me back it up. You see, Milfridius and I, you see, there's not too much game in these swamps. The abandoned tower is in a swamp, and Milfridius and I are rather hungry. And even though you don't have any meat on you, because Salazar is a skeleton, we're betting that you still have some marrow. I don't know how you spell bone marrow. Have some marrow in those bones. And then in parentheses, we're going to say Salazar notices a cauldron of boiling liquid nearby. They're going to eat them. One word. Okay. Decide how the hero will attempt to overcome the obstacle to achieve their objective. This is the core of the scene where you use creative problem solving to improvise fun, action, or role-play moments. Describe what the hero says and does to get what they want. Okay. Salazar responds with, "You've got to be even dumber than you look." I'm a skeleton, and I'm not in need of any marrow. You'll just be wasting your time. I don't really like that, but it's in the spirit of the game. It says don't go back, don't edit it, which I have been doing, but I'm going to leave that as is. The unnamed priest. Role playing here. Develop the story, the scene. You see, we've got nothing but time. If you don't taste great, then we'll... don't edit, but here I am editing. You see, we've got nothing but time. If anything, your bones will be used for something. Salazar. Like what? Priest. Oh. Scrying. And I want to say like, scrying and used in a ritual to summon their master, their boss, some demon. Oh, let's see. You see, we've got nothing but time. If anything, your bones will be used for something. Like what? Oh, we'll leave it vague, but that's where I'm at. Oh, you'll see. Maybe. And then we're going to have Milfridius enter. Milfridius. We're bringing back... I need the name of a demon. Let's go to the names. I don't know. These are like... those are like jobs per se. They're not names. We're bringing back from Magic the Gathering, one of my favorite cards as a kid. We're bringing back the Lord of the Pit. Salazar. We'll say... actually, I kind of want to look that up. You know what? I'm not going to look it up. I believe the artist of Lord of the Pit was Mark Tedin. So let's make that... What does that look like as one word? Mark Tedin. That's how I always pronounce it, Tedin. It could be way off. Mark Tedin. You're going to bring back Mark Tedin. All one word. Milfridius. Yes. With his help, we'll transform this wretched swamp into a... I want it to still be bad, but like awesomely bad. Like, yeah, with his help, we'll transform this wretched swamp into a glorious... Well, now I'm thinking of the band Unearth, and they have Glorious Nightmare is a song. Yeah, with his help, we'll transform this swamp into a glorious nightmare that will spread throughout the... And I'm going to come up with a fantasy place. Turn this wretched swamp into a glorious nightmare that will spread throughout the... 5 islands. Okay, the world is made up of 5 islands, I guess. All right, check in with the game system here. We are doing a lot of role-playing. Well, we've got role-playing moments. Describe what the hero says and does to get what they want, so we've got a lot of that. Okay. All right, don't overthink it. I want to say that Salazar will ask to join forces because he's kind of evil, but I don't think he would want to join up or be an underling to anybody. So Salazar will say anyone who thinks they can work with Mark Tadine is dumber than anyone who thinks they can work with a monster like Mark Tadine is as dumb as the is as dumb. I want to say something like is as dumb as the elephant is big. Is as dumb as a mouse is small. That is not as impactful as I want it to be, but it is what it is. Milfridius. Okay, here we go. We're going to have a resolution here. Milfridius. All right, I don't want to say like attempts again, so we are going to just roll. Milfridius is going to go in and punch Salazar in the face, but let's see. Oh, I need a number. Okay. He's chained up, so let's say 8 or higher, he'll get it. Okay, 17. Dang it. Okay. Milfridius moves closer and punches Salazar. Oh, okay. Well, here, we'll do this. Milfridius moves closer and punches Salazar. That happens. But then he's going to cast Shatter. We already have that spell. We've used it. Milfridius moves closer and punches Salazar. And then, kind of at the same time, as Salazar, or as Milfridius walks away, Salazar casts Shatter on his shackles. And I don't know what I used before, but it should be relatively easy. Let's say an 8. 8 or higher. Shite. 6. But the spell fizzles. The priest... No more magic for you. The priest breaks off, kind of like a cliche skeleton thing here. The priest breaks off Salazar's foot and throws it into his cauldron. Decide whether the hero succeeds. You make the choice. Determine it. He has failed. He was hit, and his shatter spell did not work. So, cliffhanger. End the scene on a cliffhanger that leads the hero to the next scene. The character sets on a journey to a new location. It has to deal with the consequences of failure or gets what they want, which creates a new problem, challenge, or desire. All right. Well, here will be the cliffhanger. So, no more magic for you. The priest breaks off Salazar's foot and throws it into his cauldron. He and Milfridius open up their spell book, which floats above the cauldron, and both begin chanting. ... Are they going to summon the Lord of the Pit, Mark Tadine? I should look up how you pronounce that. Okay. Well, we've got Quickquest. I like the system. I like the setup. I like the process. These challenges still confuse me. I'm going to leave a comment on that and say whether or not the order matters. Let's go to the other one here. Solo roleplay made simple. I just want to look and see if these are any different. Mystery focused. Okay, so there's no mystery. Mission focus. Hang on. So this is, I want to see if this is the exact same. The challenges are the exact same. Choose 3 steps. So we've got, it's 5 extra pages. So 2 of them are on mystery. 2 of them are on creative exploration. These are the same. These are the same. There's at least the four of the 5 pages are there. Without printing it out and on these spreads, I'm on the struggle bus figuring it out. Oh, was there a table of contents? No. So there you go. It was those 4 pages plus the table of contents. The table of contents bookmarked? No, they're not. Okay. I think I might print these out. I think this is very simple, lightweight. So this more paged one has mystery focused adventures and creative exploration adventures. So I'll read this, then I'll be done here. Instead of focusing on the plot, the hero overcoming obstacles in pursuit of an objective, you can focus your scenes on creating and exploring weird, interesting, and creative ideas. Journey to discover strange and unusual locations, surprising characters, absurd situations. Okay. So, if you combine that travel with free pre-made adventures. Okay, so there's different resources here. If you combined that with what was it? This one, Worlds Weird and Wonderful. Yeah, you could make a world and then explore the world. Yeah, okay. Okay. This was free pre-made adventures. Visit our website for a collection of free pre-made adventures you can use in your games. Okay, must not work with the solo play. So let's do this. The Secret Room of Baron McDoom. Setting, objective, characters, hook, challenges. Oh yeah, you could definitely solo this. Download this adventure. This is a storytelling system designed to help you master the art of solo. You are an interdimensional explorer, inventor, and an adventurer. You have a portal device, a companion, and an ability to invent anything. Your job: explore the multiverse, solve mysteries, record your discoveries. What does it say for this one? Bon Voyage. Same setup. Yeah, same thing. You're an interdimensional traveler. Interesting. Okay. Well, RPG Adventures. What is this all about? Free adventures. Okay, this must be all the Lumen stuff because this is all fitting together. All right, well, there you go. I'm going to full screen this. Highly recommend. If you're like me and you're on the fence for solo role-playing, totally check out this Lumen. When I comment, I'm going to say how amazing this is. And I found it to be very helpful. So in the discussions here, I will ask. And if they respond, then I will follow up in a different episode about what their response is. But that was fun. Made up a character. He rolled terribly in both scenes. And we left on a cliffhanger. And maybe we'll come back to it. And maybe we won't. All right. Broke up the playlist with another solo adventure. Do something creative. Be creative. See you in the next episode. Later.